It does look kind of better full screen, I'd say. Well, we'll see how it looks. September 21st, Planetary Calendar 209. Following a raft of oppressive policies and crackdowns from Earth-based government of the Solar Federation, the joint forces of the Martian territories and the Jovian Unified Colony Fleet rebelled. This conflict came to be known as the Solar War. Oh my god. Is this like Gundam? The war carried on for 3 years, but eventually the combined forces of the Martian territories and Jovian Unified Colony Fleet managed to push the Federation military all the way back to planet Earth. In the final days of the conflict, a pitched battle was fought in lunar orbit that would decide the war's victor. Lunar orbit aboard the Jovian carrier JFS Kalik. You reflexively tighten your grip on your armored frame's twin flight sticks as another wave of vibrations reverberates through the cockpit. All right, everybody grab your armored frame's twin flight sticks. The creak of your new flight suit and your quickening breath are the only sounds that you hear above the gentle hum of the frame subsystems. As you squeeze the controls tighter, their plastic casings creak under the pressure. You try and stay calm, knowing that these gentle vibrations are remnants of huge shock waves that are buffeting the Kalik, the carrier that you're stationed on. Each one is a near miss as an explosion tears through the space around the ship. You try to push the thought from your mind and focus on controlling your breathing, but you already realize that the frequency means that Kalik must be approaching the front line. Your squadron will be launching soon, and you'll be engaging in your first real sortie. Your first real flight, in fact. You feel your throat tighten. Simulations are as good as the real thing. That's what your trainer told all of you. But you know that pilots are supposed to have hundreds of hours of live flights and training exercises in real armored frames before they're allowed anywhere near the front lines. Of course, that didn't happen. Command had told you that the modern simulators mean cadets could graduate without the needs of these exercises. You'd overheard the rumors, though. The Jovian colony fleet had lost a lot of pilots and still, wanting to keep pace with the Martian advance against Earth, had resorted to fielding anyone who could fight. Your whole squadron is just like you, freshly conscripted from Europa colony. You'd undergone basic training there, but almost all your flight training had taken place in the cruiser's journey from Jovian space. It's like the plot to Edge of Tomorrow. The Live, Die, Repeat. Is it Edge of Tomorrow or whatever? You wonder how the others are feeling right now. Whether... Maintenance crew, Kalik 5. This is flight deck. We're preparing your squad for takeoff. Running last-minute diagnostics on your frame. Activating all systems. Now. Alright, looks all good to go. We'll run a few more checks and then we'll have you spaceborne in a few minutes. You ready to show those Terrans who's boss? Damn straight, ready to kick some ass. Your mind races as you try to think of a response. Blah 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 blah. Your mind races as you try to think up a response that will convince not just the engineer, but yourself too that everything is going to be all right. Instead, your mouth dries up and your heart feels like it's about to burst from your chest. The flight sticks creak more loudly as you squeeze them tighter, as if any moment now you may snap them in half. Hey pilot, everything okay in there? Comms green? After taking a few deep breaths, it eventually feels like you have a modicum of control again. You release your grip from the flight sticks and lean back into your chair. This is Kalik 5. Comms green. Just a bit. Well there, Kalik 5. Nothing really wrong with feeling the jitters. Tell you what. What's your name, pilot? What's your first name, pilot? First name, Gun. My name's Balatro. John Balatro. Okay, Gun, what's your surname? Dog. He, him. Gun Dog. Gun Dog, that right? Yup, that's me, Gun Dog. All 3 letters are capitalized in gun, by the way. Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, that's a nickname. Okay, Ensign Dog. First, take a few deep breaths for me. In and out, nice and slow. You got that? You draw in one long measured breath and hold it, then release it. Following the engineer's instructions, you repeat this a few more times. After a while, you begin to feel your pulse slow and some of the tension in your body slip away. You still feel on edge, but feel slightly more in control. Alright, there we go. Now listen up, Ensign. You ain't got a thing to worry about out there. The way I've heard it is that all the Terran's best pilots were taken care of between here and Mars. Heck, Martians are the ones who've been leading the charge today, so they're the ones taking all the flack. Propaganda machines selling this as our decisive strike against Earth's last line of defense. But between you and me, it ain't nothing more than a mopping up situation. A buddy of mine in operations said as much in the canteen last night. Besides, you hear a dull ring over the comms and sit bolt upright in your seat, slouching back and exhaling as you realize it's nothing more than the engineer striking the cockpit armor on your frame. This beauty here is a work of art. Terran frames ain't got nothing on her. She's all tuned up and ready to go. Yeah, this beauty here's a work of art. Terran frames ain't got nothing on her. She's all tuned up and ready to go. Yeah, I probably spent more time with this one than I have with my own kid. Oh, I'm a terrible father. So don't you worry. Remember what they taught you in training and leave the rest up to her and you'll come out of this just fine. Despite your startled reaction a moment ago, the engineer's confidence is infectious and it's starting to rub off on you. You adjust your position in your seat so that you're sat up straight, and the soft hum of the frame system now seems more comforting than ominous. Just a mopping up operation, you think. Martians have done all the work, so we're sitting pretty here on the top line of frames. Yeah, nothing to worry about. So, Ensign Dog, how are you feeling about things now? Feeling good, ready to go. Yeah, I'm ready to get out there and kick some ass, you declare, channeling your newly tapped well of confidence. That's the spirit, Ensign. Now hang on to that, and we'll have you out of this hangar doors and kicking Terrans around in no time. Left alone with your thoughts, you tune back into the gentle hum of the frame. You watch the seconds tick away on the cockpit clock whilst you wait for the order to launch. The wait seems to drag on and on. You carry out a few last-minute flight checks, but as you'd already completed them when you boarded, nothing has changed. All right, pilots, listen up. This is Kalik 1. We've been cleared for launch, so be ready for immediate action. All frames will be taking off in designated order. Attack formation, sound off. Kalik 2 ready. Like Kalik 2 ready, man. This is Kalik 3 ready.
Clique 4 here, ready for takeoff.
Clique 5, confirm your status. Oh yeah, Clique 5, standing by. Keep it together, Clique 5. Clique 6? Clique 6, ready. Alright, Clique Squadron, move out! Clique 1, launching. Clique 2, launching. Clique 3, launched. Clique 4, moving out. The roll call of your squadron as they depart from the ship and accelerate rapidly towards the combat zone sounds almost like a countdown to you. Once Clique 4 has declared their launch, you know your time has come. You disengage the restraints and prepare yourself. Clique 5 launching. You shout as you slam the flight sticks towards for Mac... Bah, fuck! You shout as you slam the flight sticks forward for maximum thrust. Aren't you supposed to disengage the locks? Clique 5, abort launch, cut thrusters. Clique 5, abort launch, cut thrusters. Oh my god, holy shit, man. Clique 5, abort launch, man, cut thrusters. What are you doing, you fucking idiot? The engineer's instructions barely register in the confusion as you're jerked around in the cockpit. Your helmet slamming on the control panel as a brief moment of thrust throws you back into your seat before you whip forward again. Warnings flash all over your monitors and sirens and alert sounds from all over the cockpit. Clique 5, abort launch! Abort launch and cut thrusters! What are you fucking doing? It takes a few seconds for you to comprehend the engineer, but once you do, you quickly pull the flight sticks back to their neutral position. The roar of your frame's engines die, and your cockpit regains its previous stillness. You wince as the metallic taste of blood fills your mouth. All right, Clique 5, hang tight for a moment. Your frame's restraints didn't accept the disengage command, so you're still attached to the Clique. Turns out the whole game is going to take place in here. We're going to need to run a diagnostic. Shouldn't take too long. You slump into the cockpit's chair and exhale deeply, your heart still pounding 1,000,000 beats per minute and your lips stinging. You continue to slow your breathing as you listen to the still open communication channel from the maintenance crew as they work to get your frame released. Yeah. Looks like the restraints disengage command didn't register. Yeah, Unit 5, all right, yeah. Get Unit 6 out. No sense waiting for this one. Okay, start the diagnostics, then reboot if necessary. Clique 6 launching! Dude, they're all dead, man. What do you mean, hardware fault? We checked this 10 times since Mars at least. Who's assigned Unit 5? Oh, for fuck. Fine, right, shut down systems and run the diagnostics again. I want this frame out there in the next 5 minutes. Clique 5, we're going to shut down your frame systems for a moment so we can run diagnostics. Stay ready, though. We'll have you launching soon. Clique 5 understood, ready and waiting. As your cockpit fades to darkness again, you realize the flight sticks... You release the flight sticks and suddenly realize just how long you've been clenching your fists around them. You flex your fingers and roll your shoulders, exhaling again as you begin to hear the muffled sounds of the engineers working on your frame's restraints. Staring at the dead monitor, you slowly begin to smile. This is what you wanted, wasn't it? You'd spent so long worrying about this mission that you'd thrown up twice in the past 24 hours. Now it looks like that was all for nothing. You got what you wanted, and you were safe. Safe as you can be, strapped to the outside of a military carrier in an active armored frame, anyway. Your smile widens inadvertently at that thought. Getting shot down in an active frame is still in restraints. You'd become a cautionary tale for engineers and pilots through the entire Jovian colony fleet. Your mind turns quickly to the rest of your squadron. When they return, you'd be the laughing stock of the entire Kalik. The pilot who'd spent their entire first mission stuck in a dark cockpit. You dodged a bullet, but you'd never...
This is Kalik 6! They cut off the flight path! There's more! There's a whole squadron of carriers from the E-field! Kalik 1! They're gonna cut you off from the fleet!
Kalik 6's signal disappears. Disappearing as you sit bolt upright. As you sit bolt upright. Is it? I get it. Like you're like kind of jolting away, like jolting up or like bolting out. It's just a weird. Sit bolt upright is like a weird phrase, right? As you begin pressing buttons to trying to activate your cockpit's main monitor so you can see what's going on. However, with your frame system shut down remotely by the maintenance crew, you could do nothing but sit in the dark stillness, and listen to the events unfold.
Kalik 6, respond! Kalik 6, what's going on? How many carriers are coming from the E-field? Like, you ma'am, Kalik 6's signal has been lost.
Oh, sorry, this is a different...
Ma'am, Kalik 6's signal has been lost. It's not responding. He's... Ma'am, he's... Hold it together, Kalik 4. All units, form up. Defense formation on me. I said all units. Kalik 2, don't break formation. Ma'am, they're firing on us. There's so many of them. Oh, God! Oh, God, ma'am, help!
In an instant, your communications channel is flooded with cries of terror and panic. You hear your squad mates, your fellow pilots' exclamations of fear as this unexpected enemy force bears down on them. Screams and yelps, wails and howls fill your head as you sit powerless in the dark confines of your cockpit.
Hey, who's out there? Engineering! Hey, get me ready! I can help! Get me ready to launch, engineering! They're getting killed out there! I need to go now!
You shout demands to get your frame ready for launch over the channel, but are met with no response. In the dark of the cockpit, with your controls unresponsive, you can't be sure whether the channel is closed or if no one's listening. With all attention turned to receiving the battle damage units from your squad.
Listen to me! Anyone, get me out of here!
You desperately begin attempting a manual override of your systems, but find that nothing responds to you. The only spark of life that you can glean from your frame is a small diagnostics progress bar.
I need to be out there! Anyone! Hey!
In one last desperate attempt, you begin hammering on your cockpit walls, hoping to get the attention of the engineers who could hear outside earlier. The entire time, the chaos of the combat out in space is narrated to you in broken fragments of radio chatter.
There's 3! 4! 4 on me! I lost my shield! I can't shake them! They're everywhere!
Oh my god.
The line of retreat's totally cut off! We can't get back to the ship! Ma'am, what do we do? What do we do? Stop panicking and form up. 3 and 4 on me. We're going to punch a hole through their formation and... Ma'am? Ma'am, come in, ma'am! Ma'am! Oh, God! Oh, God!
One by one, your squad's signals disappear and the cacophony of panic disappears, replaced by the gentle hiss of static. You stop hammering on the side of your cockpit as the last voice cuts off. You're drenched in a cold sweat now, and your empty stomach feels like a rock has sunk into the bottom of it. You lean back and stare blankly ahead.
This is Kalik 5.
Ready for takeoff. Damn. It's quite the opener. September 21st, Planetary Calendar 209. Despite last-minute reinforcements for Solar Federation from their headquarters on Earth, the battle above Lunar is a victory for the joint Martian and Jovian forces. This would be the final battle of the Solar War. Having lost their last stronghold on Lunar, the Solar Federation would agree to a ceasefire and sign an armistice to end hostilities. An uneasy peace fills the solar system. With the conflict between the Solar Federation and the Martian-Jovian alliance concluded, the Kalik and her crews soon returned to Europa colony near Jupiter. April 19th, Planetary Calendar 214. The reduced need for pilots away from the delicate space between Earth and Mars saw Ensign Dog reassigned to security detail aboard various Jovian ships. He's eventually promoted to lieutenant. All right, Lieutenant Dog. 4 years have passed since the battle above Lunar. The Jovian colony fleet, fearing fresh aggression from Earth, has increased patrols near its colonies after picking up unusual signals coming from the further out in the solar system. The patrol ship JFS Gundog is dispatched to support the JFS O'Brien in its investigation of these signals. Jovian space. Aboard the Jovian patrol ship JFS Gundog. As the rumble of the Gundog's engines roaring to life reverberates through the ship, you clench your fists. It's been 4 years, and to this day, the sensation of tremors, whether they're ship engines, docking clamps, or weapon drills, still ties your stomach into knots. A bad trait for a ship security officer. You shake your head and exhale slowly, taking a moment before stowing the last of your possessions and pushing the drawer closed. You feel the click as it locks into place, and the exterior plastic paneling sits completely flush with its surroundings. Stepping back, you look around the room. You take another deep breath and hold it for a moment. Although this was far from your first posting as a security officer, you always felt the same sense of trepidation, if not anxiety. As similar as all the ships were, they all come with their own unique crews and personalities, and with those come unique problems. Breathing out, you take a look around the room, taking stock of your surroundings. Select the Look button to examine your surroundings by selecting the items of interest. Select it again when you're done. So it's a visual novel? Seems like it. Hello, Kiki. Hi. How you doing, Kiki? You want to come say hi to chat, Kiki? Oops, sorry. Yo, Toady. Thank you so very much for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. What were you streaming today? How are you doing? Might be able to come say Kiki here. Come here, Kiki. Stone Shard as always. Nice, nice. To wind down for the night? Yeah. Well, if you gotta get out of here, make sure you go take care of yourself. Thanks again, Toady. Make sure, like I said, make sure you take care of yourself. Get some rest. If anybody's looking for some additional Stone Shard content. Give Toady a follow. Send some love. A modded run with a stress timer sounds like a great big pain in the ass. I don't know if I could handle it. Yeah, I was gonna say this game seems like a visual novel, but now we're in this portion where we can kind of like look around and stuff, so. This lets me control the room's lighting from the bed. I keep my books there too. Currently reading Tales of the Cosmic Champions series. Select the use button to interact with your surroundings by selecting specific objects to use them. Select the button again when you're done. This terminal lets me access the ship's computer. It's got a clock, a word processor, and even a calendar. Wow, futuristic. I can also access records and my orders from here. But anything else, I need to access the core, which is limited to those in operations or command. I needed to change the pace, otherwise I too often will stop to wipe my sweaty hands for 5 minutes as soon as things get interesting. Sure. Oh, it looks like I've been instructed to report to the bridge to meet the captain. I haven't met anyone yet since my transport to the spaceport ran late, and I just about made it on board before launch. Okay. Light switch for the room. Should I use it? Yes. Can I pet that gun, dog? I think you can. You step out in the empty corridor, and the door to your quarters gently hisses shut behind you. Its keypad gives you a short series of beeps, and you hear the lock engage. The dull thrum of the ship's systems barely audible, but otherwise you're stood in total silence. The air is cooler outside of your quarters, and the corridor has a sterile lack of aroma. It's been the same on every ship you've been stationed on. At this point, it doesn't surprise you. Okay, so this is a Swift-class patrol vessel, which means I leave the quarters block. If I leave this quarters block, I'll be in the four-side thoroughfare. Okay. If I go right towards the aft, I'll arrive in the central hub, and then I can head to the bridge. Warning, low gravity. You leave the crew block behind you and find yourself in a much larger corridor that stretches off to your left and with multiple smaller corridors leading from it. To your right, the corridor leads to a large plaza-like space. A very faint breeze coming from your left ruffles your hair and chills you slightly, and you hear the sound of human activity. From the right, you can hear the hum of the ship's engines more clearly now, as well as the occasional low, quiet whirring sound. Looks like I was right. This portion of the thoroughfare will let me access both sets of crew quarters, the mess hall, the hangar, and the central hub. From there, I can access the rest of the ship's areas. I should hurry up to meet the captain before I look anywhere else. As you enter the central hub, you hear a low whirring noise and the engines grow louder. You can see the readouts above one of the elevators change, letting you know someone is using it to travel to another part of the ship. Don't you just love the sound of human activity? I do. As long as I'm not in that same room as all the human activity, because that gets overwhelming as fuck. Looking around, you see the entrances to both the fore and aft side of thoroughfares, as well as the corridor to the airlocks. These elevators will take me to the bridge, where the captain will be. I shouldn't waste any more time. Knowing that you need to report to the captain, who at this point of the ship's journey should be stationed on the bridge, you make your way towards the elevators and press the call button. You step back and watch the indicators above the elevator, waiting for one to arrive. As you await, your mind begins to wander, and you're caught unaware as you feel something suddenly jab into your back, and a voice from behind you declares, "Hands in the air! Identify yourself!" Your posture stiffens as you snap back to reality, caught completely off guard by the voice behind you. Thoughts race through your mind as you try to figure out what's going on. Could there already be another security detail on board? That shouldn't be possible. As far as you knew, you were the only one, unless... I said hands in the air, punk! You tentatively raise your hands, palms flat and facing forwards, as whatever you've been thrust into the small of your back is being... As whatever has been thrust into the small of your back is being removed slowly, and you hear the person behind you take a step backwards. You exhale and begin to turn around. Lieutenant Dog, Security Detail, IDSO 254 JFSG. I'm on my way to meet the captain to... Where you'd been expecting a gruff crew member, instead you're met with a bright and cheery officer waving a pen around with a large smile on her face. You're taken aback for a moment, as this isn't just any officer. This is... Cassie Gundog. Cassie? What are you... Gun! I've missed you so much. You big doofus! You should have seen your face when you turned around. You were all... Oh my god, someone's gonna kill me. I mean, I don't even know. I love that face you make when you think you're in trouble. Cassandra's like, I love the face that you make when you think that you're about to die. I just fucking love it, you guys. I just love it. Isn't that just great? It's like you think playing the big soldier would get you out of trouble. It's so cute. Lieutenant Commander Cassandra Quinn. You should have known. Really. She's always been one for bad jokes and stupid pranks as long as you've known her. Her less than professional attitude and penchant for irresponsibility is the reason why, despite her talent, she's not commanding a ship of her own. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good did I get you? You totally thought you were being busted, right? But if you're being honest, her playful nature is what attracted you to her in the first place. You've been dating for nearly 2 years now, but a lot of that has been over electronic mail or in letters. Your postings have never lined up until now. Cassie, what are you doing here? I thought you were stationed on the Reliant. You never said you were being transferred. What happened? Well, the thing about that is, you might say that a disagreement with the head of operations on the Reliant led to a lateral trajectory for my career. The Reliant. Is that a ship in Next Gen? The Reliant? Is that the... Who piloted that, the Reliant? Or maybe it's one of the... It's a ship in Star Trek for sure. Oh, it's Wrath of Khan. Okay. So is that the one that Khan takes over? Or is that the one that Kirk is... No, Kirk is in the... Yeah. No, the DS9 is the Defiant. That's the, like, the combat ship. Okay, yeah, so the Reliant is the one that Khan takes over in, in Wrath of Khan. Okay, got it. Captain Kirk. Are you familiar with the Klingon proverb that revenge is a dish best served cold? Well, it is very cold in space. We just saw a clip from Wrath of Khan. One with where they remade the scene with puppets. Cassandra, please.
Okay, so maybe when it came time to change the ship's cybersecurity passwords, I couldn't be bothered to spend all day sitting on the computer core, waiting for it to generate new code, so I just changed all the existing passwords by a single digit.
What the fuck, Cassandra? You place your face in your hands as a dull groan rises from the back of your throat. This isn't the first time you've heard a story like this.
And maybe it turns out when they run cybersecurity drills, they assume that the enemy have your old passwords, so try brute forcing from those. And maybe that meant the ship was compromised in 0.5 seconds. But at least they found out I'd done that in a drill and not in a real engagement, right? I've basically saved the entire ship in advance.
I'm surprised you're still even stationed on a ship. How are you not stuck back in a records room at Europa Colony right now?
Well, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but if I can't trust you, who can I trust? Turns out this mission was organized at a really short notice, and the Gundog was the only ship available. The problem was that they'd been having issues with the crew, so they had to transfer some in short notice. Lucky for me that I'd been so recently made available.
That's weird. I'd only just been stationed on the Duke, so I shouldn't have been free to be transferred. Cassandra got us transferred too. Don't fucking give me that face! What are you doing? Cassandra?
Okay, you figured it out. I may have used one of my contacts from the Academy who works in resources to transfer you over here.
I'm pretty sure you know every regulation you broke by doing that.
What was I supposed to do? Get stationed to some tiny ship heading out in the middle of nowhere with no one I know in the crew?
Yes, Cassandra.
We haven't seen each other in months. Aren't you glad to see me?
Yes, Cassandra.
Of course I'm glad to see you. I've missed you too, you know. It's been a long time. You don't become part of the Reliance Operations Department without some serious talent. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, you said you were on your way to see the captain, right? Have you had a chance to take a look around the ship yet?
No, not yet. I was going to...
Great! I'll show you around. I've been here a few days, so I basically know the ship like the back of my hand. Where do you want to go first?
To meet the captain, Cassandra. I was on my way to see the captain. I felt the engine start up, so I know that they're launching soon, and I thought I should probably report as soon as possible.
No, don't worry about that. I've already logged you on board, so it's just a formality now. Besides, Captain Bartomuse isn't exactly a stickler for procedure, so we can check you out anywhere you want before we head up there.
All right, in that case.
Great! This is going to be the best tour you've ever been on. By the time it's over, you'll have seen every inch of this ship and met everyone on board. It's been so long since we last saw each other, too. We definitely need to take time to stop by my quarters and get reacquainted.
You can now access every area of the Gundog. Select the talk button to view a list of who's available to talk to. If you change your mind, select the talk button again. You look around the central hub as Cassandra already begins to make her way to your first destination, waving at you to follow. It might be a small ship, you think, but now would be the perfect opportunity to learn its layout and familiarize yourself with where you'll be spending your current duty. This is not your sister. Plus, you admit, it wouldn't hurt to meet all the crew. Better to get to know them sooner rather than later. I keep right-clicking thinking it's going to deselect stuff, but that's definitely not how this game works. To sick bay. The elevator doors hiss open and you both step into a wide open room. You're immediately struck by the glare of the high-powered lights that are set in the ceiling. Just as you regain your vision, the more powerful aroma of clinical disinfectant burns at your nostrils. Looking around, you see the standard features of a sick bay. A set of beds that extrude from the wall on one side and a large gallery of windows set in the wall on the other, indicating the presence of a surgery wing. I made up her name. Elcamp. Like, her name is Cassandra. I just jokingly said that her name was Cassandra Dog. The ship's name is Gundog. By the way, which is also our name. I just named our character Gundog because that's the name of the game. I don't know. The walls are lined with cupboards and cabinets containing medical supplies, and various devices sit on countertops. Yeah, because this is the first thing said in chat. Yeah, it's good so far, Kajima Kuji. And the art's really fantastic. The writing is pretty solid. I mean, for a game that doesn't, nothing happened in, like, the first sequence visually. But like, the story being told was pretty engaging, so it's good. In the middle of the room is a large desk set to face the entrance. On the side closet to you are 2 chairs, and on the other side sits a figure that you almost mistake for a piece of medical equipment until they look up.
Miss Quinn, excellent timing. I've just finished the analysis of your... Hey, Doc, don't worry about that right now. I'm giving a tour to our new security officer. Very good, Miss Quinn. Hello, Lieutenant Dog. I'm the ship's doctor, Sifa Rosario. I've reviewed your file already, so please feel free to stop by with any complaint.
You need to pick one character to have the Venture Brothers Dr. Girlfriend voice. I don't think I can really do that voice for a long period of time. I could have somebody sound like Tony, maybe, but like that's not the same voice. Yeah, I could use that medbay, please.
But since you're here, Miss Quinn, I'd really like to talk about your gastro... Honestly, Doctor, it's fine. We can talk about it. Intestinal... Doctor, later! Distress.
Cassandra's shitting her pants.
Okay. Doctor, a moment, please. Honey, if you could just give me a few minutes with the doctor.
Yeah, no problem. Cassandra grabs the doctor by his sleeve and drags him over to the surgery wing, yanking him through behind her. Once the door closes, you can't hear them, but you can still see the two through the gallery window. You decide to turn your attention away and examine a nearby poster of space illnesses. Oh boy, space illnesses. Can't wait to learn about space herpes. Or electrogonorrhea. The noisy killer. Dr. HIPAA violation, yeah.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. I understand. So, that includes any synthetic meats or carbohydrates. Understood. But as I've explained, I've got a full supply of NutriShake powders that should serve as a balanced replacement for the meals from the food vendor and should alleviate your... Doctor!
I love the way. What a great transition.
Yes, well, tummy troubles. This tour is moving on.
Everywhere we go on the ship is going to be people talking about Cassandra shitting her pants. Talk to the doctor.
Ah, Lieutenant, are you feeling unwell?
No, I'm feeling fine.
Have you come to pick up any medication?
No, I'm totally all right, thanks.
Have you come in for a precautionary checkup?
No, nothing like that.
Then are you here to ask about my mechanical elements?
What?
No, of course not. Ah. Oh. Well, in that case, Lieutenant Dog, I'm not sure I can help you today.
Don't worry about it. All right. All those cupboards and cabinets are jam-packed with different medical supplies, tools, nutritional supplements, and so on. I guess it's good to have it all on hand. Damn it, I keep right-clicking thinking it's going to do something. Just opens up the menu. Those beds are for patients who need to stay in sickbay for whatever reason. All the monitors behind them are to display patients' vital statistics. It's rare you'll see one used. What you're telling me is that you didn't do the animations or any arts of people having to use the med bays, probably. That portion of the sick bay is separated off for surgical procedures. It has its own separate environmental controls and is completely sealed off from the rest of the ship when in use. It also contains robotic assistant units. State of the art, but you'd still never want to end up in there. To the airlock!
And this is the main airlock. It's the main way to get on and off the ship when it's docked.
Thanks, but I've already been here.
Oh, really? When?
When I boarded the ship, Cassandra! Actually, I think I'm confusing it with somewhere else. What else can you tell me?
Well, it's got one of the best views on the ship, for one thing.
You look around but can't see any windows. You wouldn't expect to on a military vessel where an inclusion like that could compromise the structure. Here? Really?
Yeah, really. Check it out.
Cassandra strides over to the terminal set into the wall next to the airlock hatch and quickly begins typing commands into it. You hear a sequence of beeps and she stands back, gesturing proudly to the screen.
Not too bad, huh?
You look at the screen, but all you can see is a dark display with a few errant pixels suspended on it. Is that working?
Of course it's working. Look.
You stare a little harder at the screen, and although it takes you a moment, you eventually realize that's an external feed.
That's right. Normally you can only see out of the gun dock from either the bridge or the hangar. But the ship's covered in small cameras for combat situations. You can access the feeds from terminals around the ship.
That's actually pretty cool. But isn't the view from the bridge or the hangar better? You know, because you're actually looking out?
Well, maybe, but there's always someone else around. You never get to view it yourself.
Or get the view to yourself.
No one ever comes here and it's so quiet. It's almost like you're out there.
I guess I could see what you mean. It's pretty quiet out this way, and with a fancy screen like that, it's basically the real view.
I knew you'd understand. I have the command to your terminal access. That way you can come out here and see the stars whenever you want.
Thanks. These spacesuits are for emergencies only. Every crew member has an assigned suit that's stored near the main station. These suits here are in case of evacuation when those stations are inaccessible. the main crew airlock for crew use. It's used to load and offload basic supplies and equipment. Everything else is brought in through the hangar airlock. Aside from the fact it controls the airlock, it's a terminal like any other. Although with the silence, I suppose this one's good for getting a relaxing view of the stars. Underneath that panel is the manual control for the external airlock hatch, just in case of mechanical or power failure. I've had to open one as a part of a drill before, and it's not easy. Alright. As you head away from the central hub, the noise from the engine becomes quieter and the ambient temperature feels noticeably cooler. The thoroughfare stretches out in front of you with the doorway leading to other areas of the ship visible in the distance. Here we're in the four-field thoroughfare. I know. I went to my quarters earlier when I came aboard.
What did you just say?
Four-side thoroughfare?
No, I don't think you did.
I 100% said four-side thoroughfare. Thoroughfare.
Aha!
It's a tricky thing to say. You try saying it quickly.
Four-side thoroughfare. 4 feet thoroughfare. 4-5 thoroughfare. Ah,
Aha, yourself!
we'll call this one a draw, Lieutenant.
Fire control. Moving beyond the mess hall and the hangar access, the two of you continue to the furthest end of the four-side thoroughfare. The door at the very end of the corridor is shut, the words fire control painted on its large stenciled letters. Cassandra swipes her keycard through the reader by the door before turning to you.
So this is fire control. The gunner's probably here, but, well, you'll see.
That's pretty cryptic. As you follow Cassandra through the doorway, your eyes take a moment to adjust as the strip lighting that illuminates the rest of the ship is now conspicuously absent. Instead, the entire room is lit by the phosphorescent glow of an alcove full of screens and readouts. Looking at the screens, each one seems to not be showing more than a few specks on a black background. From experience, though, you know that what you're looking at is a live feed from cameras all over the ship's exterior. In the central of this alcove, facing away from you, is a seat like the ones on the bridge. From this angle, it's impossible to tell if there's anyone in it, but you notice a tinny rhythmic hiss coming from it.
So anyway, all the ship's weapon systems are controlled from here. These screens give the gunner a panoramic view of...
Is the gunner here right now? You look over Cassandra's shoulder at the back of the seat. You swear you see a quick flicker of movement, but you can't be sure it's not just the flash of a readout reflecting off of a surface.
Oh, Dylan? Yeah, he's here.
Should we say hello?
Well, normally I would, but...
Cassandra leans back slowly as if trying to surreptitiously sneak a peek at what's on the other side of the chair without noticing her. She quickly turns back to you after a moment's pause.
He just looks so in the zone, you know? It seems a shame to interrupt him.
Interrupt what? Cassandra leans back again, and after a moment quietly gestures you for you to come take a look. Is he sleeping? Sat in the chair is a man who looks a little bit older than you. His eyes are closed and his face a picture of absolute serenity. He's just absolutely joking it. Over his ears is possibly the single largest pair of headphones you've ever seen in your entire life. As he sits there, oblivious to your presence, his right leg bounces up and down and his wrists flick constantly. You wonder for a moment if he's okay, before spying a cassette player poking out of his jacket pocket. You realize that the hiss you hear is the slightest whisper of the music that he's listening to escaping from those substantial headphones. He's one of those audiophiles, yeah. Is this okay? Shouldn't he be a bit more attentive?
Don't worry, it's fine. He's not even on duty.
Yeah, but what if there's an alert?
Let's find out.
Cassandra moves over to a panel just before the monitor-laden alcove, takes the receiver off the wall, and enters a few numbers into the keypad. Hi, Vanessa. Yeah, it's Cassie. Can we test the alert system in the fire control? No, I know it's not scheduled. It's a spot check. Yeah, random testing, you know. Chief's orders. What the fuck, Cassandra? She is a stirrer of shit. Of course she asked. Why would I be asking you for a spot test of the alert in the fire control if Chief didn't ask? The Chief's probably there, Cassandra. You're darling, thanks. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Loud! In an instant, you see the figure in the chair bolt upright, yank his headphones off, and lay his hands in the fire control systems, his head snapping back and forth as he rapidly surveys the wall of monitors. False alarm. Hey, Dylan. Don't mind us. Just had to do a spot check on this system. Chief's orders. Oh, hey. Quinn. No problem. Who's this? Lieutenant Gunn. Dog. Ship security. No affiliation with the ship. Just coincidence. Oh, hey. Warrant Officer Dylan Dees. Dylan Dees. His name is Dylan Dees. Dylan Dees nuts. Fucking got him. Dylan Dees Gutter. Welcome aboard. Thanks. Well, let me know if you guys need anything. That alert totally got in the way of an awesome solo. So I'm going to rewind and pick up where I left off. Good to meet you. Don't stop the music. We met Dylan. We did it. My friends call me Double D's. Every single one of these screens is linked to a camera on the ship's hull. Although it doesn't look like it, this actually represents a 360-degree view of around the Gundog. Every single one of these screens is linked to a camera on the ship's hull. Okay. Mess hall. Here's where we have the highlight of the entire tour, the mess hall. Cassandra's face is radiating happiness as she gestures through the double doorway that you're stood by in the mess hall. Looking inside, you see a canteen like any other. Tables, chairs, vending machines, it's all here. This is the highlight? It looks like a pretty standard mess hall to me. You bet. You know why? Tell me. Because they've got both of the different kinds of vending machines. The red one that stocks the spicy potato chips, and the white one that has all the different chocolate bars. Wow, so that's all bases covered, huh? They got all the fundamental food groups. I'm not sure. Hey, Quinn. A rough voice calls out from further in. Hey, Quinn. Hey, what you doing there? You hadn't noticed them previously because of Cassandra's enthusiastic presentation of the vending machines. But someone sat in the far corner, stands up, drops a half-smoked cigarette into a coffee cup, and strides over. Oh. The mystery of her tummy troubles revealed at last, yeah. Yeah, that sucks, Templar. Oh my god, what the fuck? I have to figure out how to turn off that notification. That is crazy loud. Oh, you know what I could probably do? I could just mute the, No, I can't. It's not... It doesn't, Oh, yeah. Here, let me control the audio here. It must have... I assume it came from that, so hopefully I can just turn it off. Alright, anyway.
What's going on, Quinn? Who's this? Lieutenant Rumney, were you just smoking in the mess hall? Take it easy, Quinn. I was sat right by the extractor vent for the meal vendor. No harm, no foul. That's not the point. The extra strain on the air scrubbers from cigarette... Yeah.
Wow, nice animation. That's like the first really, like, detailed animation thing I feel like we've seen. I guess we saw the mech. The mech leave the whatever things, but anyway, that was really good.
So anyway, who's this hottie? Cassandra! Or, well, no. Exclamation point! Well, Kat's got her tongue. Name's Haru. Haru Rumney. What about you, good looking?
Oh, Lieutenant Gun, Dog, no affiliation. Ship security.
Gun, dog? No way, really?
I'm glad they're professional, yes. Last time I checked.
Well, all right. Good to know. That's all for me, dog. You're the man now, dog. You know where my quarters are, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. If you know what I mean.
I don't know. Nice. Catch you later.
Oh my god, she's so pretty. What was that all about? Cassie?
You know where their room is, do you?
Cassie, listen. Listen. Look, it's not my fault that they're smoking hot. Of course I know where their room is. What? I mean, I do. It's near mine. Look, I didn't... That's not what... Their room is right by mine. I'm chief of security. Yeah, I know where everybody's is mostly, but especially theirs. You know, it's... Cassandra just is not having any of it, does not want to fucking talk to me at all. What? Nothing. Actually, don't worry about it. You know, it's fine, Cassandra. Look, I'm sorry. We fumbled hard. We fumbled hard with Cassie. But look, we're doing fantastic with Haru. So, I mean, you know, which one really matters? You know what? On that note, let's go to Haru's room. A standard floor vendor unit installed in all JCF ships. It's half robotic chef, half vending machine. You select what you want, and it prepares it for you. The ingredients are almost all long-life synthetic reproductions, but it's pretty convincing. When you're done, you can slot the plate back in for cleaning. Like Cassie said, both kinds. For some reason, certain ships sometimes only have the red or the white one, so I get why she's excited. putting out your half-smoked cigarette and your half-drunk coffee. Pretty gross. I don't know why smoking on a ship hasn't been banned yet. I mean, it seems like she wasn't supposed to be smoking, or they weren't supposed to be smoking in there. Okay, it doesn't look like anything else to interact with. One thing I definitely like in point-and-click games is, like, being able to hold a button and see what is or is not interactable, because sometimes it's just, like, easy to miss. Oh, Cassie, before we go, do you want something from the vending machine? Oh, she's still pissed. Chocolate? You want the spicy chips? Spicy chips, Cassandra? Cassandra, you can't not talk to me forever, Cassandra. Soda? You want soda? Don't think I don't know what you're trying to do, Lieutenant. I promise I didn't get what Haru was saying about their room. I promise. Okay, but it's gonna be a chocolate bar. Okay, sure. Wait, 2 chocolate bars. Sure. Wait. 3! 3? What the fuck? We're going to Haru's room immediately. So your quarters are down this way, huh? That's right. Why? I was wondering where you'd be. On a Swift class, there's 2 different quarter sections. One has all the department chiefs, whilst the other has... Oops, I clicked. Since you're the only security officer on board, I was wondering if you'd count as a department head or not. Well, I guess I don't. I'm just slumming it. Oh, that's not what I meant. What I meant was that, I'm messing with you. Don't worry about it. That is security is typically under the captain's instruction anyway, so it makes sense that my quarters are over this way. I guess so, when you put it like that. So, have you met any of your neighbors yet? Well, let's see. We met Haru. This is Haru's room. They've definitely heard what Hansen has to say about me. Probably best I don't run into them too often. Hansen cries? Yeah, I know this guy. Oh, you met him already? Not on the gun dog. I knew him back on the Kalik. Oh! Is he the guy you told me about? That's right. Not what you call my biggest fan. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Dalton Grange. Haven't run into him yet. Dalton's such a sweetie. Is that right? Yeah, he's a junior engineer. He's actually just a student working toward his degree for naval engineering on the JCF scholarship, so he's really eager to please. You can watch him bounce around the hangar like a pinball, trying to get everything the chief tells him done as quickly as possible. Sounds like he's a little bit highly strung. You bet. He's right at the start of his training, so he'll jump the second you tell him to. You can go into the hangar and shout, Dalton! And he's there in a second. The other day, the chief told him to find her a left-handed wrench, and he was tearing the hangar apart trying to find one. She had to change the blinker fluid. Poor kid. Oh, he's okay. The chief was only busting his chops. Well, that lit up for a second. Oh. But now it's not. Oh, I guess it's just coincidence. I think it just blinked. Yeah, it's just blinking. Yeah, okay. It just happened to blink, like, right as I hovered over it. As you step into your quarters, Cassandra follows you in. She stands by the door for a moment, looking around the room before turning to face you. Wow, you really like to keep it tidy, don't you? I've only just got here. That's not a lot of time to make a mess. Are you kidding? I'm pretty sure my bag exploded the moment I stepped into my quarters. Jovian military supplies just aren't what they used to be. Or maybe it was operator error? What's that supposed to mean, Lieutenant? It means you're a messy bitch, Cassandra. Nothing, nothing. It's just considering all possibilities.
Wait, is that... What? Lieutenant Dog, don't tell me that... What? What is it? Your chair! It's not perfectly aligned with the terminal!
Okay. Take it easy, Cassandra, okay.
I guess nobody's perfect, huh?
You're right, Cassandra. I noticed it too, but I wasn't going to say anything because I'm polite. Yeah, right, Orem. This is why we know where Haru's room is, Cassandra. Yeah. I would have made more of an effort if I knew the officer doing spot checks was such a stickler.
I suppose I won't have to report you to the captain this time, Lieutenant.
All right. We went to the hangar. No, we didn't. As the two of you head down the four-side thoroughfare and away from the crew quarters, Cassie stops by a double-sized doorway and runs her keycard through the reader next to it.
Watch your step!
She instructs, tapping her knuckles on a large warning sign next to the door that reads Low Gravity Zone. Once the door opens, she heads through, and you follow her into a wide stairwell. It only takes 2 sets of steps before you can feel yourself grow lighter. By the time you reach the doorway at the bottom, you're almost floating. What the fuck was that? Oh, you can scroll wheel to get text. Interesting. Stepping into the hangar and onto the catwalk. Oh, fuck. Well, good thing I can look it up. Stepping into the hangar and onto the catwalk, the first thing that strikes you are the profiles of the 2 armored frames stood as if on guard, facing into the main area of the hangar. Although you fully expect to see them here, every Jovian ship features at least a few. The sight of the armored frame stirs uncomfortable memories in you, and you inadvertently grit your teeth and squeeze the handrail that you've grabbed tightly.
Ma'am! They're firing on us! There's so many of them! Oh God, ma'am, help! The line of retreat's totally cut off, dude! We can't fall back, can't get back to the ship! Ma'am, what do we do? What do we do? Stop panicking and form up. 3 and 4 on me. We're going to punch a hole through their formation and... Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I think it's just a change in low gravity level. Left me a little bit queasy. That's fine. Don't mind me. I'm just having a little flashback. Just a little PTSD. I mean, I'm lucky to be alive, but also... trauma.
I know how you feel. I was late for a hangar audit once and rushed down straight after a big lunch.
Uh-huh.
I was moving so fast with the gravity shift, my stomach contents couldn't keep up.
Gross.
Tell me about it. I did everything I could to keep my mouth shut. You know the rule for low gravity zones. What you spew is left up to you. I wasn't going to be late and on cleanup duty.
Oh, gross. Speaking of duties, shouldn't there be someone around here? Speaking of duties, Cassandra, you're not about to shit your pants right now, are you? Because the doctor seemed pretty concerned about it.
Dalton should be around here somewhere. If you're feeling funny, stay here for a moment and I'll go see if I can find him.
Sure. You watched as, despite the 15-meter difference between the catwalk and the hangar floor, Cassie nonchalantly places her 2 hands on the handrail and deftly vaults over it into the emptiness. Thanks to the low gravity, she doesn't fall, but instead kicks off of the railing, propelling herself through the air. As Cassandra drifts off, eventually catching onto one of the armored frames. I need to get all the text ahead of time before I start reading. As Cassandra drifts off, eventually catching onto one of the armored frame's legs and using it to swing herself around to float into a different direction, you place your elbow on the railing and you head into your hand. You turn your attention back to the stoic features in the armored frame's heads and sigh deeply. Your attention is caught by the cockpit hatch on one of the frames being half open. Looking around, you see everything as you'd expect. Armored frame weapon racks, storage containers, various equipment. All of it's restrained appropriately and fastidiously arranged. The cockpit hatch is the only thing that breaks that pattern.
It's weird. I can't find him anywhere. I know it's definitely his shift right now, so he should be around somewhere.
Looking past Cassandra at the armored frame with the ajar cockpit, a thought strikes you. I think I might have an idea. Follow me. You carry out the same vaulting maneuver that Cassie had performed and kick off towards the huge machine's cockpit. Once close enough, you grab a hold of its arm and pull yourself up towards the open hatch. A few seconds later, Cassie appears in the bed beside you. A few seconds later, Cassie appears beside you, and you both notice the sound of gentle snoring coming from within the cockpit. Well, Lieutenant Commander, I think this is an operations issue, so I'll let you handle it.
Leaving the discipline to me again, huh?
Cassandra nimbly clambers up the armored frame, positioning herself right above the cockpit. Bracing herself in the machine's chest, she brings her heel down sharply and repeatedly on the armor.
Cadet Grange, attention!
You hear a muffled scream from within the cockpit, followed by a dull thud, a string of muttered cursing, and then finally a figure emerges from the cockpit.
Ma'am, I was just checking the calibrations on the AF. I got some feedback that... Oh, it's just you, Commander Quinn. Excuse me, just?
Welcome to B1K Live.
Yo, Head, thank you so very much for the 2 months. Don't leave any of the love lying around. Make sure you pick it up and take it with you, pretty please. Pretty please. Is that how you address a superior officer, Cadet?
Ma'am. No, ma'am. I was not expecting to see you in the hangar, ma'am. Okay, you can tone it down a bit, Dalton.
No, yes, ma'am.
Good enough, I suppose. Anyway, Cadet, this is Lieutenant Dog. Gun Dog. No relation. The ship's security officer.
Sir, Cadet Dalton Grange, Junior Engineer. Good to meet you, Cadet. Looks like they've got you working hard. Looks like. Oh, no, sir. Yes, that is, sir. But not so hard I'm falling asleep. No, sir. I was recalibrating the sensor array and the... Take it easy, Cadet. We've all taken a nap in a cockpit in our lives.
Well... Of course, we never took cockpit naps with the chief giving us our orders, so you probably need to get back onto whatever you were doing, huh?
I totally forgot. She's gonna kill me.
Good kid, right?
I feel sorry for him already. All right. Well, it's, we've been going for 9 hours today. It's 7 o'clock. I think we'll save things up here, and, we'll plan on, starting, with a new roll of the wheel tomorrow. This is gonna be the plan. So we can save here. There's still more slots for stories from Saul the Gundog. This is really good. I like it. Dialogue's well written. I really like the animation in it. It's all really good.